We got our first instance yesterday of a presumptive Democratic presidential nominee, Kamala Harris, getting interrupted by a heckler and shutting it down absolutely perfectly. Now, I'm going to be very upfront with everybody. This was a heckler nominally from the left, a sort of a Free Palestine, Gaza type heckler who chose to go to the Kamala Harris rally and try to interrupt her speech. Let's take a look at how Kamala Harris handles it here.
He intends to surrender our fight against the climate crisis, and he intends to end the Affordable Care Act. You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that. Otherwise, I'm speaking.
So listen, we're 90 days away, 90 something days away from a critical inflection point here in the United States. And I would argue it will have cascading effects around the world. Why are you doing this at the Kamala Harris rally? They never protest the Trump rallies with this stuff. Trump would allow Gaza to be destroyed flat out. And this is why it gets disappointing to me. Because we end up with, fortunately, I'm not seeing that much of it this time. 6 months ago, there was more. But you even see some progressive commentators, people in my position, kind of virtue signaling around how great it is that the protesters are taking it right to Kamala and this sort of thing. I really care about the effect that this election is going to have on people all over the world and in the United States. And Kamala Harris is the better candidate on every issue compared to Trump, including on Israel-Gaza, including on what would be best for the Palestinian people, period. If you can't see that now, we're talking about weeks before the election. It's not even really 3 months because we're already almost halfway through August. We're talking about 2+ months. It is legitimate to ask these protesters, what do you actually want? What are you actually trying to do? Because if Trump wins, Gaza becomes a parking lot. And then what? Are you going to be like, hey, listen, I protested Kamala. I did it for the people of Gaza, and Trump won, and now Gaza's a parking lot. So if you claim to be a progressive, and if you really want to demonstrate that you're as progressive as you claim to be, and you go and you say, well, I'm going to protest Kamala Harris here because of her position on Israel-Gaza, or for whatever you perceive to be the faults of the Biden-Harris administration in terms of the circumstances there, even though the situation has a 70-year history, I would argue you don't know how foreign policy works, and that you are ultimately doing the bidding of the guy who would be the absolute worst for the Palestinian people, the malignant, narcissist, egomaniac Donald Trump. Now, let me play a little more of this. Here's a little more context around this interruption.
And please do check out Project 2025, because I'm telling you, it is a plan. It is a plan to weaken America's middle class. Project 2025.
Now, what's going on here is that the protester continues to try to interrupt you.
If he is elected, it's all good. It's all good. I'm here because we believe in democracy. Everyone's voice matters, but I am speaking now. I am speaking now.
So I think you get the gist of this. Let's not sabotage ourselves or even sabotage. Kamala Harris met with the co-founder of this Michigan uncommitted voter movement before this event. She's doing all of the right things. She's better on this issue than Trump by a lot. And meanwhile, it's interesting to see that the right is saying Kamala Harris is actually anti-Semitic and anti-Jewish because she didn't select Josh Shapiro to be her running mate. So, folks, let's win this one. We have the opportunity, we have the possibility for a landslide victory that will reject the autocracy of Donald Trump. Let's not screw it up. That's my request. Data brokers are constantly gathering vast amounts of information about your online activities, address, phone number, email, financial details, even political affiliations. Anyone, including your ex or your boss, can easily find your personal information on public data search sites. They sell this data to other companies, the FBI and NSA, even buy this data in bulk to monitor Americans without a warrant. These data set lists are also where scammers and spammers get your information to send, call, text, and email you. But you can stop them. Our sponsor, Incogni, sends data removal requests to data brokers who are legally required to comply. If any information stays online, Incogni will follow up and make sure that it's removed. And they keep you updated every step of the way so you will know when your data has been removed. Saves you hundreds of hours of work. Almost no one could do this on their own if you have any other responsibilities in your life. I use Incogni myself, and what they're able to accomplish and quickly is impressive. Go to incogni.com/Pacman and use the code Pacman for 60% off. The link is below.